Let me get this shit on the road.
Sir, we live, baby.
There we go. Alright. Yep, air it out. The shootout. Let's go to the main chat. And after the big game interview, tune in time. That's how the bus for the Buffalo Bills is pulling out of motherfucking Baltimore right now. Baltimore is a riddled city. They don't like losing. They better get that bus the fuck back to upstate New York for that shit get shot the fuck up. Look, Josh Allen said, I did all the shooting y'all needed out here in this town, man. Air it out central right now. We got the coach from the undefeated Buffalo Bills, Madden franchise junkies. The League presents Game of Thrones. Here we go, man. Look, here go the first interview of the year. So, first of all, uh, we have our Bills coach, the only undefeated team this year that's left, trying to top, or no, really not top, trying to do exactly what the Chargers did last year, which is win it all without losing a game. Let me ask you, being 10-0, especially after this big win you had, is that on your mind at all?
Uh, I don't think it's on my mind not being undefeated all the way. But I mean, if I can do it, yeah, I'm doing it. But it ain't on my mind. I'm trying to keep it going all the way. I'm keep fighting because that playoff loss last year, that was devastating. To be honest with you.
I feel you, man. I suffered the same fate. My question to you is, was it a lot of pressure on you with us screaming on our shows, Super Bowl or bust last year?
Uh, it was in my mind, but I mean, it wasn't there. I felt I kind of just I don't know. I just wasn't there on the stick all the way. That's so it kind of was there too. It was messing with me.
Right,
So the Super Bowl, it was kind of y'all had high expectations for me, and I wasn't there all the way on the controller yet.
right. Tough. It was tough last year going into a butt naked, everybody on the fly. But we come back to year two, and you off to the best start out of everybody in the league right now. With I would say you just beat the Ravens, big time game. Who was your other? Let's go to your schedule for a second. Let's go look at schedules right now, and let's just take a walk through your 10-0 the 10-0 conversation right now and see what happened in those 10-0 situations. All right, on the schedule from week one, let's get all the way down to where we at right now. Week two, they had their bye week seven, so Las Vegas. They traveled to Las Vegas and pulled off the dub. I think that was a first win. But when the computer do a team 41-14, that might be telling what the situation is going to be. Then the Patriots game, you guys tried to play this game, right? And then you end up having to take the force win
Yeah,
in this
that's
game,
right.
right? All right,
Yeah,
so
the game was rough.
21-14, and that team is on hiatus right now. The Commanders, and this was the first explosive game right here, 79-9. Just a little brief conversation. What happened in this game? Did like to build up to 79 points in this game. First, let's talk about your offense. When did the connection between Calvin Austin and Josh Allen start to reveal itself?
This past off season, really. I mean, he came in kind of late at the end of the last season, this off season. Then early this season, we just started to fill him in the roster, and then he just started making big plays and stepping up.
All right, then you travel to I mean, the Broncos come to you 37-7 ball game, and then you follow that up with a 76-13 win over the Jets. And then at that point, the Patriots is on tank mode. You get the first one there. You come off your bye and legitimately playing a pretty solid schedule at this point. Now you get to your arch enemy, your nemesis in your division, the Miami Dolphins, and you pull off a 29-25 ball game. So what I'm seeing so far, just through the schedule and the scores, you guys are being able to win the close games and pitting teams away for sure right now. When did that become the identity of the Buffalo Bills?
Defense, our defense has been stepping up in big moments a lot of the time, and I feel like that's what really a lot of these games this past like this season, our defense has stepped up in a lot of them with turnovers,
Chargers.
fumbles, interceptions, something like that. They done stepped up.
No doubt,
It's
no
just
doubt.
Josh Allen he didn't had their back. And that's pretty much what that been.
So now Josh Allen commands your offense. You guys have a deep threat. You guys have a solid running back in the backfield. James has had a great year last year. How do you feel about him as a running back this year?
He doing good. We trying to give him the ball a lot this season, trying to get him going, but he ain't all the way there this season. So we gonna keep on giving it to him. He gotta
No,
be that guy.
got to be that guy. I was going to say, got to give it to him. At the end of the day, sometimes sophomore slumps happen. But I think if that turned into production like last year, if you could get him at the going through the stretch to really turn it up some, I think this team is serious, man. I will say that playing the game, this was a very stressful game tonight that we're going to get to. So then you get the 52-14 win over the Cowboys, and then the 21-14 game over the Jets, which led you to the
GG,
game that was
fellas.
being spoke about. Let's go there first.
Bengals.
After the game, you went to the chat, you added Max, you added King Falk. What was that about? I'm getting right to it. Tough questions. Let's go. Let's get into it.
All right, I got you. I added Max. I'm gonna start off with him. He was saying it was a close game. It's too early to call it. Whoop de whoop de whoop. And
Mm.
all this, like the P5, I'm new to this too. And my chat, it was popping up dead in the middle of the screen. So I was forced to look at everything they was saying. And they kept on saying it.
Mm-mm-mm.
So that, and then
GG.
Mike, cover four. You got, all I did was cover four. Come on, man. I ain't ran it more than 3 times the whole drive. I switched it up. I know how to play football now. I mean, I ain't gonna run man all the time like a lot of people is, cause I ain't got the corners to do it.
What
I ain't gonna
what
lie
what
to
they was
you.
this was being said while you was playing?
All of this was being said while I was playing
Oh
the
shit.
whole game. I
Oh
probably
god.
had 50 comments that whole game. Like,
Oh god. You was you nigga turning you up and shit. All right, so let's go there. So Max, you shut him up. What he say is too early?
yeah, he
What
was
Max
like,
say?
it's too early. It was I want to say it was what, second quarter. I think I was up with like by 14, 11, something like that. And he was like, it's too early to tell, cause Antonio, he was hyping me up in the chat. You
Mm,
know, you know how he do. But he was in there talking about it's too early to tell and all it is whoop de whoop de whoop. So he was getting me going too,
no doubt, no
cause
doubt.
I just had it on my mind. I had to go ahead and it was a statement game. I had to make it known that I was here.
All right, so let's talk about the statement, man. Obviously you playing somebody that's a good player on the game as well. We come into this game with 3 losses already, big losses too, right? And then you undefeated coming in this game. Did you, honest to God, did you feel like you were the underdog in this game, or like just from the comments you were seeing and things like that? Did you feel like that you was supposed to be the person to lose this game or something?
I did feel like the underdog
Right.
because if it was a pick'em game, the only person that had my side was my boy.
Antonio, the only one. Oh God,
He was the
I
only one that had.
forgot.
He was the only one that had my side.
I forgot to come back on before we played to do this to do the little pickup show on a couple of games. That's on me. My bad, Antonio. All right, so we in the ball game. We go down. We put a hell of a drive together. Go down and score, and then it's like right after that, it was. All right, let's get to it. Let's just get to the juice. When did you realize you could just throw that bitch up and run under 'em?
Vikings.
Let's get to the juice. Let's get right to the juice.
Hey, I mean, Josh Allen, he got the arm for
He
it.
definitely
So
got the yeah. He
I be
definitely got the
laughing
arm
in the
for it.
practice with it. So I mean, he got it, and then it's that I play on the little the placement and accuracy. So you can
Right.
put that anywhere really
And just let him run under that bitch.
and
That's
run
a
under it.
and that's a honestly if guys that I still play on classic, right? I really haven't given that a try yet, but like that's an advantage right now. That ball placement situation, you can put it where you want to, and is damn near impossible once it's up there. So I'll talk about it. So me personally, I'm in the first time you bombed me, I was in four, and we sitting at seven off. And the first time it happened, I turned around in my head, like I just spun. Dolphins game, playoffs, up 17. And then he just did that, launched them bitches up there. And he had Tua. Tua don't got the arm that Josh Allen got. And he just did exactly that. Launched it, put it to a target spot and just clicked on and ran under that shit. Did you know, like, all right, so look, playing online. That was like the thing with Tyreek Hill for the last three discs to do exactly that. It's just the difference now is you have that trajectory thing that you could do to do it with it. But guys would
Hmm.
do that online, like and I barely play online, but a lot of the stuff I will watch will see guys just throw that bitch up, reek, run up under them things right now. It almost felt like the way you play call, it was like you wasted it down. Maybe that shit might save. Hold on. Hope to God. All right. So while we still talking, I'm trying to see maybe we can get back, and maybe they might because it did it before. It might allow our shit to pop up now. So just in conversation. Though. All right. So just in conversation, this is how I felt to me, coaching on the opposite side of that game that we just played. Once you got it the first time, it felt like first and second down didn't matter to you. Because the moment you got the third down, that's what was coming. It was coming again, and it was like once that happened, you knew you had that in your back pocket now. So explain to me uh, why and what made it comfortable for you to know that. Like it didn't matter what happened on first, second down. When you got the third down, it was launch that bitch.
Uh, I think it just came down to kind of how the corner was playing sometimes, and then if he had him beat, and that's what I was looking at.
Yo
But
CB was
I
beat from the
mean,
jump.
Calvin my number one right now, so I'm looking.
Right. Now, physically, I'm sick right now. So as I'm trying to be professional and do an interview, we gonna spice this bitch up some because my attitude gonna come out a little bit. So we sick. We in the game. I'm gonna tell you my exact feelings. That's not sugarcoat shit with each other. Let's keep it 100.
I got you.
I'm super pissed at this point now. Now I'm like, hey, this is bullshit. Like I'm not. He ain't even play. He don't even got to play football at this point right now. It's just no matter how far I backed him up, didn't matter what I was doing. You just let that bitch go. He was just running under them motherfuckers. So now it gets frustrating in that moment because now I think what was the most you had me down by? Because by the time we got to the third quarter, I
I
think I
think
was
I want.
down
Yeah, I
11
want to say
maybe.
it was 11. Yeah, it was the most
I'm
was 11
I'm
because
down
I threw that
11.
pick in the end zone.
Right now. I'm gonna tell you like this: the most frustrating thing about a game is something like that happening to me. I don't even care if it was. Let's just say you ran slants for touchdowns the whole time. The fact that I allowed it to happen multiple times is where I'm sick at. Right? Like it's hard for
Jets.
me when I lose a game, no matter how the game is lost. Once I lose a game, it takes me a little bit to get where I'm at right now. Right? But the thing about this game is, as mad as I am about losing it, it doesn't disappoint me as much as I lost McCoy. I would say that. Let's just keep it one. I lost to McCoy, and I couldn't sleep. I had to. I was like, but this doesn't do that. Now here's where me trying to be as real as possible. That to me, I'm gonna live with that loss because in my book, if that's the way you gotta beat me, I would be a fool to let that happen another game. So we met in the playoffs, and that's the way you got to beat me, and I let that happen again. I might as well just get my team up and quit. You get what I'm trying to say? Like what I'm saying is like
Yeah,
that's
that's
not a
I
threat
just
because like
understood.
you didn't have to put a drive together. I mean, credit to your defense, right? Five
Yeah.
fumbles in that game, right? Let's talk about that, and then we'll get back to what I'm talking about. But
It's
five fumbles in that
understandable what
game,
he's saying.
right? Talk about it. How that made how that how did the fumbles make you comfortable? Like damn, all right, fumbling because it was key moments. You'll throw a bomb, I'll come down fumble. You throw a bomb, I fumbled again. Like that's how you went back up on me in that ball game. So coming off of five fumbles in that game, just take me into the third quarter where the running back fumbled. I think we held you to a field goal there.
Hmm.
And then Lamar fumbled on a big time drive where we got on our side of the field, and then Lamar fumbled. At that point, where you at my state right now? Like, where's your head at in that moment?
Uh, with the first couple fumbles, I was like, I just
You.
thought my guys was really just stepping up. I ain't gonna lie to you. But when it kept on going down, I was like, yeah, something going on, but I like it. Something going on, but I like it.
like talking to Craig one day, about fumblings and things like that. Like when he, talking about his losses, and he brought up the fumbling. The thing about fumbles is this. Um, they're uncontrollable, right? For the most part, they're uncontrollable. But I'm gonna just say this: two out of the five fumbles, I watched you create those fumbles. The one to Devin Duvernay when I caught the little ball inside and started dancing and he fumbled. That's me not getting down. Not I'm trying to break tackles. So I respect that type of fumble, right? Even the one with the running back when I got the pick in the red zone and I got the ball on the 6 yard line and then I broke the little stretch and got 8 yards and he fumbled trying to make moves in that. I'll take those as creative fumbles, right? So you got to eat those. Like they like, damn, just get down. You know what I mean? Hold the R1. Stop trying to get an extra 2 or 3 yards in that moment, right? I
Hmm.
can live with that. But the next three is like, I mean, I'm supposed to lose this game at this point, right? That's how I feel. Damn, I mean, I'm supposed to lose this game. They don't want me to win this game, right?
Yeah,
But at what
it
point?
was contagious.
At what point did you get comfortable, or did you? Did you
Uh,
get comfortable at
I
all in
feel
that game?
I feel like I got too comfortable when I was up 11. I got too comfortable because in reality, I really should have just probably ran that ball on the third down and just kicked the field goal and went up 14 and went up two possessions.
Right,
I feel like it would
right.
have been harder, but I feel like I got too comfortable me trying to play as a regular season game when in reality that was a playoff game in a regular season game. But I mean, I made mistakes there, so I was comfortable. I felt like too comfortable at that moment. But you had me uncomfortable the rest of the game, and I was, yeah, shaking. So
So
it was a shootout.
so on my end, that's one of the hardest games to play, and here's why. When you when you did it the first time, again, it reminded me of Hoodie doing it to me, right? And then
Hmm.
but by the time you got to the fourth one, it was more like this. It was more like this is some bullshit. At this point in my head, I'm like a person could lose their self at that moment, right? Especially a guy like me. Once I feel like some bullshit happening, I lose a lot of focus and nothing else matters, right? But in this game, I didn't get to that point, but I was there enough. Like it's me. At the end of the day, it's me. And I think the bombs made me overthink instead of me just trying to find a way to stop it. I think I overthought. Like I gotta still stop other shit. Da da da. And honestly, you really didn't have to do other shit, right? You didn't. You didn't have to really do it. Just launch that bitch when you was in trouble. Simple as that. And all
Seahawks.
right. So now at that moment, I'm down 11. You got to remember, it's an 11-point ball game with 3 minutes and 45 seconds left.
Hmm.
after the first touchdown, because it was a one. What's that? One play tutty, and
Yeah.
then we get the
Shootout.
what was it? The pick that we got? How we get the ball back?
I want to say I fumbled.
Yeah, you fumbled. Right.
I fumbled. It was like on the third in the 30. I want to say like on the 30, 40 yard line. I want to say with James Cook.
And then we go down and get the score in the 2 point conversion.
hmm
3 point ball game.
Yeah, I think that's how it went.
All right, so now we at the pinnacle point of the game now. It's 3 point ball game, right? Now I'm gonna ask you, what was your feelings at that point? Hey, before you even answer, think about this. You knew you had that ace in your back pocket, launch that bitch and let it go. You knew you had that in your back pocket, right? And you
hmm
also are coming off of me fumbling the ball 5 times with 2 interceptions in that game as well. So that's 7 turnovers that I had in that ball game. And now I'm up 3 points right now.
Yeah.
No, I'm not up three. Sorry. I'm up 1 point right now.
Yeah, you was up one. Yeah, it was
I'm up
what
one right
34,
now.
35.
So at that point right now, like when did it like what was your mind state, right? Because now you gotta go back to when Max said it's a little too early,
Yeah.
right? You got
Because it's a
like he
close
said
ball
it.
game now.
It's a little too early, right? So when did because at the end of the day, most people fold in that moment. That's why he gave you the props that he said in the chat. Like, I ain't gonna lie, good game. Most people would have folded once he made that comeback like that. Let me ask you this. You, the pressure wasn't as much as I think most people would have had because you knew you had that bomb to throw it up in the back pocket. I think you were so comfortable with that. I'm talking for you. You can tell me if I'm wrong. I don't think you
Nah, you
panicked that
good.
when I was up by 1 point. I don't think you panicked at that moment knowing you had it because the very first play you come out and run and throw that bitch up and he fucking if you see go back and watch the game and see what Calvin Austin did so I was in man and I was trying to rotate and switch it to cover one man. I didn't want cover two. No, I'm sorry. I was trying to rotate to cover four and you hiked the ball as I was in the middle of trying to make that happen. And when did you look at Calvin and realize he was open? Because you threw it earlier than you was throwing him the first three that you threw on me. Like you let that one go a little earlier. So did you see him beat him off the line of scrimmage?
And that's what he did beat him off the
10
line of
He
scrimmage.
beat
Because
him
I
right
want
off
to
the line of
say,
scrimmage. Yep.
yeah, yeah, I want to say he stepped like your corner just stepped up, like my receiver,
Yeah.
like pretty much just ran right
Ran right
by him
by him. Yep.
when it happened.
He
And
stepped
soon I
forward.
seen it, I just threw it up.
Because I think my assumption is I was in man, so they was already impressed. I was trying to go to cover four, so I think
ACB
as you
weak
hike the
side.
ball, I think he went to go lunge out the press and he just walked right by him. But I'm on the safety, right? But I'm not. Again, I got hyped in the middle of trying to get situated. And let's talk about that. The ball in the air. You see me take on the angle, but how did you know? Did you know you was catching that ball? Or you thought I'd maybe be able to get to that. Like, how was your emotions at that moment?
Okay. See, I tried to do it the first. You remember, it was like in the third quarter. I tried to do it, and you caught a pick,
Yeah,
but I didn't lead it outside. So I was like, that's on me.
right,
That pick on me. I didn't lead it away from him. So when I seen you running over there, I laid it away from you that time. So I kind of knew that I was gonna kind of get there. I just hoped you didn't make a play on it. That's it.
right.
That's what it was. That's
And
what
what?
it came down to be.
And I think the worst mistake I could have made at that moment was try to still get a pick. I should have just ran right to you. Like I should have just, all right, he's catching that. I'm not getting to that. Just go make the tackle. Like you know what I mean? Because we can't let you walk off right there. All right, so now look, emotions is over. You go down there, you score. I got a few seconds left. And they made that Mark Andrews who had a catch all the way until he didn't have it. What was that about? That was big. That put me at third and what 18 or some shit, third and six. It was third and something. The seam route I threw it to Mark Andrews. You almost picked it,
Oh yeah.
and he
I
caught the ball and
okay.
then let it go.
Okay, I seen it was. I think I want to say it was like a bunch look, something like that. You was kind of running the little arrow routes coming back in. So I was either looking forward to that, or I was looking forward to some verts coming
Hmm.
out of it. But all I know, I was sending a blitz, so I
Right.
had to make up for that blitz. So I was just there at the right time.
So at that point, I'm on some. All right, that's a catch right there. That's a first down, and honestly, that's a 20-yard catch. So I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
pit myself a little, and then he let it go at the end. I mean, it was the weirdest animation I ever seen. But at that point, once you was able to put the three safeties back deep, game over. Um, Now give me your emotions of winning that ball game. What does that win mean to you?
It mean a lot going forward. I mean, staying undefeated. That's what we working as going to right now. Stay that way. Stay on that route. But we still got them Dolphins on the schedule. We ain't forgot about him. That's the game we worried about every year. That's the schedule game we got circled on our schedule every year.
So you go into Baltimore and you pull out the win, right? And you did it and with a clutch gene. Let's just call it that because again, most people fold at that moment like a screen back. That wasn't a comeback. That was a screen back with 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go. It was a straight screen back, and then you did what you had to do to finish that game off. So I want your emotions on beating me. What was your emotions once the clock ran at zero and you knew the game was yours? What was your emotions then?
I finished it out. Cause last time we played, we went to overtime and you beat me.
That was a crazy
I
ass game
knew.
as well too. That game was crazy,
I
boy.
knew
Oh
I
my
couldn't do
god,
that again.
that
So
was
I
a
just
that
had
was
to
a
go ahead
crazy
and
ass
finish it.
game. That was a crazy game. All right, so I mean, what does this? What do a win like this tonight? Like if you when you walk in the locker room and go talk to your team after a win like that, right? And you say all the right shit, get the game ball out. We got to keep working hard, all that. But when y'all sitting at the bar as a coaching staff, what are you saying about your team to your other coaches? Like how do you feel about your team right now? That 10-0 team that's sitting right here, going down the stretch right now, playing really good football. How do you feel? What do you say, to say your defensive coordinator kicking it with you and he asks you this question. So where do you think we at with this team right now? Are we for real?
Now, yeah, we for real at this point. We balling. That defense, they showing us that they stepping up, and Josh Allen showing us that he want to lead us to the promised land. So they playing.
Respect, respect. All right, so I want to go to your schedule. I know we walk in the locker room and it's the same conversation I'm having with my team. So I'm gonna say the right things to my team, right? But when I talk to same question. I'm talking to my coaches. I'm saying we have a is it on us coaching wise? Is it on us that we can't finish games? What's going on? Is it on us? And the real answer would be we're just super young. And until we put a complete game together, we're gonna go through these emotions right now, right? So you got the Saints, Dolphins,
Mhm.
Eagles, Chiefs, Chargers, Giants, Colts. So let's just say right now you still have I'm not counting the Saints out at all, right? I think you got to lock in for that game. Then the Dolphins is coming to Buffalo. And you got those Eagles, they don't stop running their miles and they playing great football down the stretch as well. Then you got the Chiefs. I think you'll be comfortable in that game. But then there's the Chargers. You got the Super Bowl champs. You got Saquon Barkley and the New York Giants if he ain't throw the towel in. And then you got a hot coach team coming up. So how important it is for you to finish? And do you think you can go undefeated with the remainder players, coaches that's in this league that you have to play? A lot of these guys are either playoff teams, and guys that we consider our top guys.
Yeah. A lot of these games right here, everybody pretty much right here, these final scripts. Playoff teams, the Chargers, the Eagles, Dolphins, Ravens. I mean, they balling, so I gotta finish strong. I feel like the Chargers, if I get to that game undefeated, it's gonna be a show. I got something to prove at that point because that's the Super Bowl.
And see, you see how you said that? Like guys get mad when I be like, that was your Super Bowl. That wasn't no damn Super Bowl. That was a regular season game. But
Oh,
like,
yeah, I be
you
understanding every
you
bit what you be
understand?
saying
Yeah,
when you say that
you
though. I
understand that?
understand every
Like
bit of that.
it's you if you can take it as disrespect, but in fact, like, look, you don't listen. If I beat Falk. if I beat Falk, right? I, I'm I might not go to the chat and and celebrate in the chat at all. But like, I definitely know he don't want to sit on headset with me and listen to me talk about all the good things I did in that game. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I know how he feels. He lost that game, right? But I'm excited about that. Like, and that's a big game for me. So when I say Super Bowls, that's your Super Bowl. I mean, yes, some of it has a slight play out in it, but at the same time, I don't think I'm speaking. I think I'm speaking facts though, Brian. Like, am I lying when I say that? When
Nah, you
like,
ain't.
like
It's
again,
fact.
how's your emotions after winning that game? It's not. Look, if you took the, let's just go and say that's boom. Let's just say you played the Eagles and that's the type of game you just played. You pulled that out. Do you feel the exact same way you feel right now pulling it out against me? Would you have that same feelings against the Eagles?
Okay. Against the Eagles, he called me
That's the wrong person to
he
bring up. My bad.
yeah,
Eagles,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, cause
Eagles, because he
he
talks
called me
shit.
something, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So I mean, at that point I just gotta beat him.
Right,
That's all it's about.
right, no doubt, no
Just to
doubt.
wake him up.
Yeah, the Eagles
So
is the Boone is the wrong person because he going everybody in the league is going to be gunning for him because of his mouth. So I get it. That's my guy. He's going to talk that
Lions.
work right now. So we come out this game and we think and we say this. The appropriate things to say, right? Let's just say they interviewing my head coach right now, right? And then
mhm.
the appropriate thing to say will be that that's a good football team. Now I'd be lying if I say that's not a good football team. So that's something that I'm saying that's a fact. And as I'm answering questions, I would say they would say, you guys,
Just say it's a big game.
you still gotta win your division when you got the Steelers that's playing good football, the Bengals that's playing good football. So you still got football to play, and you guys can't even sit here and guarantee your team's going to a playoff. What I would
Packers.
say to that reporter who asked that question, that's our only goal is to go to the playoffs. Like we refuse, we're gonna feel like we're gonna have something to say at the end of this thing, right? And if they ask me, if you had to play that team again, how would you feel? Like, is that the scariest team in the league that you just played? And I would say no. And here's why. I don't feel like anybody is a threat to anybody. Let me rephrase that. I don't want to be a dickhead, but let's see if you understand where I'm coming from. Listen to me. If you
Smiley
run a
face with
kickoff back
yellow.
89 yards, kickoff, right? And then I
Uh-huh.
come out and I put a 12 play drive together. And then you run a kickoff back again. I come back out, put a 15 play touchdown drive together. And then that kickoff is a big play, right? But I think a big play can eventually be stopped. But how would you feel knowing that I can continue to put 12 play, 13 play, 15 play drives together? I think I'm going to break your back eventually. Because if
Yeah.
so what I'm trying to say is, I would teach my team and the mindset of our team. That's on us. We got to put y'all in a better situation not to allow that to happen. But if you look at that game, we went up and down the field on these guys, and they just one play tutted us. We got to make the Bills show they can put drives together and drive up and down that field to beat us, right? And I would say they're a good football team, but I don't know if you survive playing that way in the playoff, like, or against other people. Like, can you if you go up against the Chargers and that's the way you got to play to win, and he doesn't allow that to happen, are you in trouble?
No, I wouldn't say I'd be in trouble because against the Dolphins I can't do that.
Right,
I
and you
can't
had to
just
play
throw
a
it up
football.
against them.
But
I gotta
that,
play
but
a football
that's
game.
what I'm trying to say right there. That's what I'm trying to say. So when I said you ain't have to play smart football, this is our DM talk. When I said you ain't have to play smart football, that's on us. Like it was too easy for you. You never really had to think or put a drive together. Like there's no thought process in the way you went down the field and got 28 points on me. 35 points
Yeah.
on me. Sorry. Right? It's not. But it's not I'm not taking nothing away from your football IQ or what you could do. What I'm saying is we'll live with that. Remember when I said I couldn't stand the loss against McCoy? Right? I'm still that shit still bothering me. When I said I didn't like the way I'm lost, I'm sick when I played you, but I'm not upset over it where I'm like, I got to go in the lab and work on shit, right? I'm not upset with that because, again, we got beat with explosive play after explosive play.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't get, you didn't break our will. You didn't break our back, right? That's just bad coverage. That's just breakdown in the secondary coverage, right? That's all that is, a guy getting beat. That's one-on-one. You got your guy beat. We can sit that guy down, put a faster guy over there next game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's things we could
Yeah,
do
that's
to,
something you
but
can change.
yeah. So what I'm saying is, our mindset would be the Bills will have to show us a little bit more than just that if we got to meet again. And I know you'll
Yeah,
be prepared to
true.
do that, but that's what I'm trying to say with my mindset. So I say some people would take that as disrespect. What I'm saying to you right now, because I'm pretty much saying you ain't doing that again on me. And if you can't do that, it's gonna get ugly for you. That's what I'm pretty
I
much
mean, that's
saying, right?
understood though.
But
Because I
see,
mean,
not
next
how
time
many
we play, you're
people
gonna be
don't,
looking forward to
right?
it,
And then you
and I'm
gonna
gonna have
build
to
off of
scheme
that.
for something else.
Exactly,
I gotta do something
exactly.
else to get my offense going. Or otherwise, some might go down, or I might go down in the loss, or something
Now, how
like
many
that. So that's
people
understood.
you watch in the chat take that the wrong way? Don't see it the way you seeing it right now. Like, look, I don't
It's a
think you
lot.
saying that because I'm interviewing you right now. We on chat
No,
talking about it right now, right? I don't
no,
think you just saying that. I think you
that's
really,
how I think.
yeah. Well, I knew that the moment when I said the Super Bowl. That's your Super Bowl, not yours, but that's the Super Bowl, right? And you was like, I understood what you meant by that because you just said it. If I beat the Chargers, that's the Super Bowl right there.
Yep. Cause
Well,
last this he was winning. This he won the first one. He known to be winning right now, so
yeah, yeah,
he that target. He got a target on his back.
and he has a target on his back, right? So, and when you have a target on your back, you got to play. Well, that's where the little things like when Falk be like say slick shit and guys be like he's so arrogant and all that. But when you've been doing it this after this after this after this after this, you can say that. Like you always walking around target. You ever hear me say guys play me different? Like Antonio will go play the Colts and throw 5 picks, 6 picks, right? And get to me and ain't gonna do that. He ain't gonna put himself in a situation to even do that. And that's what I mean by guys play me different or they play, you know what I mean, you playing me different. I gotta come play playoff football. And that's honestly that's a testament to the league itself, right? I keep saying that to people, but people don't see it. So who's your biggest rival in this league? So who is your absolute biggest
That was
rival
a
in this
mental
league right now?
game. Rolling
This
on the
this right
floor,
now,
laughing,
Yeah,
rolling on the
this.
floor, laughing, rolling on the
I'll say
floor,
it's the
laughing,
Dolphins because
rolling
he
on
in
the
my
floor,
division. I
laughing.
play
I
him twice
wasn't
this
in the
season.
right
I
headspace.
feel like if I could beat him, I feel like I'll be good
All right, so
because
you
I feel
got
like I can do
Check the
uh,
something.
games ain't
But
how
worked
he
many?
be
out
there for
like
right
that.
now.
All right, so since season one, how many times have you beaten him?
Packers.
3.
All right, let me ask you this: do you count your wins?
Nah, I don't really keep up with him,
Like if
but
y'all
I
two
know
was
he ain't beat
arguing
me.
right now, if he got an argument with right now, would you tell him I'm 3-0 against you, buddy? Would you say that something like that to him?
No, I wouldn't tell him I'm 3-0. I just tell him he probably haven't beat me yet.
Right. All
That's
right.
all I say.
And there's a difference between guys that do that, count their wins, and guys that guys that just look. I don't think you beat me in a while, buddy. You know what I mean? Shut your mouth. What you talking about? You ain't been beating me, um, at all. I'm talking like this right now because you the first of all you the first interview, and I think we should do this more. So let's talk about the defense because as much as that was an offensive game for you, you spoke on your defense the entire time. Like you look, Josh Allen got the arm to throw it, and him and Austin got a connection. That's the only thing I heard you say about your offense. Why is your defense the number one defense in the league right now? Because that's exactly what it is.
They getting turnovers. I want to say we probably the top 3 in turnovers this season, either with fumbles or picks. I know we high on that,
I'm ready to give you that.
and
I'm
they
ready to get
getting
that
them.
stat right now. So you just had 7 against me, so I'll add that to it right now. Let's go to defense and let's go to fumbles. You are fourth on the list in fumbles. One, two, three, four. Now just think about it. You had 5 in that game, so that would have jumped you. That would have put you at 1. Now let's look at Ints. See where you at. You got 40 interceptions on the year. You're number 1 behind the Dolphins with 39 right now. So again, when I ask you about your defense, and the first thing you say is we call the turnover. So then you ask yourself this because you did say, "Dad, 5 turnovers." I was like, well, Is it your team doing that? I mean, y'all turning people over like this. It seems like on a record pace right now. So
Vets
maybe
mentor
that's
helping a
your team
lot.
doing that.
Yeah, they balling
Vets
right
mentor
now.
helping a lot. Yeah, nah, you're right. Got the right pieces. Got the right pieces. Them veterans help.
I got a lot of vets on this
And
defense too.
and
So
and that's the and that's where we when we say to guys when we catch up. You hear me keep saying it's going to get ugly with the team I got. It's going to get ugly, but not now because that's the problem. That's the mental lapse right there. Having young
Nice.
guys. On the first touchdown you threw, it was ran by Ramsey. I mean, by Humphreys. The second and the last one to win the game was on Humphreys, right? But the other three you threw up for the touchdowns was on fucking Lamar Sturtevant. He's a flat out rookie, but that kid got the speed to run with him, just not the awareness to go. What's up, mom? Nah, you got a whole shitload of them though. I'll come down in a second when I get off my show. So I asked you the question: how important it is to have those veterans mixed in with the youth that you have on your team right now, and do you feel like that makeup having the veterans is why your defense is playing at such a high level right now?
yeah, my veterans they the reason my defense playing this way. With Vaughn on the D line coming, he helping Greg and Josh Pryor and Michael Hyde over top. They
Yep.
they
And
teaching the rookies how to play ball.
Poyer is second in the league in interceptions right now. So they up there.
Hmm.
Vaughn is third or second in the league in sacks. So they up there right now. And carry the torch. So my thing is like, look, how important it is to be able to pick that
That
assemble your
week I
team
got
that way
Elite's
though,
first round
because that
face
makes
with
sense. That
tears of
nigga
joy
going to
face
lose
with
first
tears
round.
of
Oh
joy
shit!
face with tears of joy.
Now you
Who
might want to
said
start
that?
responding. That's fault. Now you want to start responding to guys now.
Oh snap! When we play,
Oh God, he ain't on your schedule
I
this year.
can't. I know, but I just look back in time though. You remember when I was in the same division with him and T? I
Yeah, I
played
remember
him
that
and
with the
T
Chiefs.
2 times every
Every
season.
season, yep.
I gotta get my get back with Falk.
Do you feel like you at the level to get your get back though?
I feel like I am at this point. Y'all,
This ain't what
I
you
didn't
want,
grew
guys.
over the last Madden or two.
Hmm.
I just gotta play smarter. That's all it come down to. Can't turn the ball over as much as I do. And if I do that, I feel like I succeed.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, so now remember starting in this year, I brought you right back on as Super Bowl or bust again, right? And just because
You
I
have
called you
100
that for year
points.
one, don't mean that it changes year two. I think your window is still the same. I think the Chargers window is still the same. I think the Bucks window is still the same. But year three, if you know, I will try to win it. You better try to win it now, because I think in year three you'll start to see those guys that are young that you're looking at. Like, what's the first thing you said when we was offline? What's the first thing you said about my team?
Oh, that D line.
Right
They ain't no
now,
joke.
it ain't a person on that D line that's over 21 years old. Think about that.
It's crazy. They all young and balling. It just so yeah.
What
Give them
happens when
another season or two. Yeah,
what
they there.
happens? Because right now, after our game is over, when we advance the league, and I take this loss to you, the morale's gonna come down some. I do think this was still a momentum game too, because the +10 break tackles and shit like that that came up in our game. So I say that to say this: we're gonna drop some now. Like right now, after that Rams game, we was at our peak. Guys had 14 morale points. So I got guys that got a 96 overall at the Green Arrow up, and they only at 84. You get what I'm trying. You get what I'm saying? So when you look at my roster and you look at it right now, you see, damn. But really, their true overalls aren't what they're projected out to be. So you should see it too. You look at your team, you're going to see the Green Arrows up. See how many points they're actually up. Because once that comes down, then you get your true overall who you are. I say that to say when you go, damn, that D line, right? They're playing at a high level right now, but they're not playing at their threshold peak yet because they're not there yet. They're still rookies. So you seeing guys that might be a 90 right now that's really at 84, some of them 82, some of them might be 86. When they get to that threshold, they play like that all the time. You get what I'm trying to say? That's why I say shit like
Yeah.
when
Heard it all
when you
before.
catch us a little later on, because then you still got the like if we make it to the playoffs, when we get in the playoffs, we're gonna play like rookies. But when you get to the next year and the grow up stages and all that, how do you manage your team? You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it comes down to. How do you manage your team at the
Yeah,
end of the
that's
day?
exactly what it come down to.
How do you manage your team? How do you put those pieces in
If you
and
don't know how to
continue to
build a
develop?
team,
Simple as
you
that.
will drown and you will sink.
Because you don't want to be starting over while the guys that did it right the first couple seasons, then you got to reset your roster and start to do what we did 3 seasons ago. Think about that. All I know is, what would you rate that game before we get out of here on a scale of 1 to 10? The way that game was just played, what would you rate that?
That was a 10. That was like a playoff game.
hmm
That was a 10. It was a battle all the way from start to finish.
I think my attitude don't want to give it a 10, but it was. It was crazy because the storyline changed so many times in that game. Um, the storyline changed because I'm gonna say some fuck shit here. 7 turnovers, I should have got blew the fuck out.
I mean, yeah. I mean, and for look, I'm gonna be 100
Seven
with you.
turnovers, I should have
In
got blew the
football
fuck
terms,
out.
in real life, that's you should have got
All right,
blown
I
out.
should have got blown the fuck out. Seven
But I
turnovers.
mean, I turned the ball over a couple times too.
Oh
So
yeah,
hey,
yeah. I don't get back in the game without a fumble and an interception, and that was all in
yeah,
the fourth quarter, under three at the 3 minutes and 45 second mark. So I can't sit here again. You don't hear me really talking about the 5 fumbles. I mean, I know I fumbled 5 times, right? I'm more mad that we let you repeatedly just throw that bitch up and walk by my DB like little motherfucker. Like that's more, you know what I mean, in my head about anything, right? Um, you got a game before you. How many games you got before you get back to that Dolphins game?
I played the Saints, then the
Then
Dolphins.
the Dolphins, right? I just came off a big loss. This was a must win for me and my team, for my team mental to go right back home in Baltimore at Advance to play the nigga that got me really mad I lost to. So I know how you feel when you say that you got the Dolphins that's on your mind. It's your next game on your mind. Well, I don't have a game in between that. My God, the guy I want to beat the worst out of is coming up right at Advance right now. And to be honest
Yeah,
with you, that's a make or break. We lose that game, we're in trouble because then the Steelers is right after that.
that's understood.
Uh,
And it's the Bengals,
Think of
ain't
me,
it?
but will be
yep, I
with
got the
you.
Bengals, and then I got the Bengals, Browns, Steelers.
He the reason. He the reason why. So I mean, hey, I understand everything you saying. He put me out the playoffs, and I lost to him in the normal season
hmm
twice.
So at some point you got to say he's drinking the juice right now, and he can
Yeah, he
sit
doing
he
his
can be
thing.
he's allowed to be confident, allowed to be cocky, and he will probably tell me the same thing I be saying all the time. Don't let my cocky and confidence fuck with your insecurities. Well, right now he's fucking with my insecurities. We go to fuck. I'm telling you right now, right? We gotta have a short memory on this game right here and find a way to turn this thing around right now. And situation. And what you got to do, the same target you said the Super Bowl champ has, being undefeated,
Face
put
with
that same
tears of
target on
joy,
your back
face with
as
tears
well.
of joy, face with
It
tears of
does.
joy, face with tears
Can
of
you play with
joy.
that type of pressure?
Hey, and we finna do it.
Right. Listen, big time game, man. I do think that was a 10. I mean, as many times as it's disconnected, I'm hoping if
Buzz.
I can just show the score, but that's torture because I liked my stats in that game. I think I threw
I
about
did too.
3 or 4 incomplete passes. We was rocking.
Yeah,
We was fucking
that was a
rocking that
shootout.
thing, man. It was fucking
It was
major
a shootout.
shootout.
Besides them turnovers, if you took them turnovers out, we probably would have scored a lot.
Yeah, nah, well, nah, you know what? Yeah, nah, you're right. Nah, I don't know, bro. You was walking under bombs in this game, bro. I think the score would have been a high. Either I would have got blown the fuck out, or I would have had to match that intensity and score like we was able to end up doing. But you gotta think about it, bro. Like first down, I give him a little run here. All right, that shit ain't going nowhere. We get the third doubles streaks.
Yeah,
Watch that bitch. Oh my god. Like, you know what I mean? Like, bro, that's a nightmare for me because I lost a 17-point lead in the third quarter to the Miami Dolphins with the same shit.
Ooh,
So again, you should see you got to know my mental right now. Like, all right, we got to figure out something to do to stop that shit. Because the funny thing is that's a speed thing, but that I would say that's a quarterback thing, but I can't say it because Tua don't have a strong arm. That's a speed thing. If your receiver that fast,
yeah.
launch that bitch. It's just that simple. And if you ain't in the, because I don't know what else. Oh, I played over the top. You know what I'm saying? Like I played over the top, and it still didn't matter. And then I didn't want to. There was so many things I didn't do because of that threat. Like if I'm 1-on-1 out there and he just let it go, we in trouble. So we got to fix something. We're gonna go back to the
It
lab.
come
We're gonna
down to
fix it.
speed
Yeah,
sometimes.
speed kills. And then speed kills. I'm not gonna say the other thing that I think makes that work as well, but speed kills. All right, so B, look, man, shout out, congratulations on the big win, man. Um, and just know target is on your back, man, and make sure you stand strong to that shit. You know what I mean?
I got you.
We doing it. You know what I mean? We playing good football right now, man. Keep that shit up. And here's the franchise guru, first interview of the year, motherfucker. We called this show the Air It Out Shootout Classic. I guess we're gonna call that. That thing was crazy, man. Go back and rewatch that game. Leave that shit in the chat, and then take it down after a little bit so niggas don't be on there trying to copy you and shit. But other than that, man, we out of here. Get the fuck out of here. They gonna try to steal that shit. Oh.